I, 52M, am the father of 3 kids, 15F, 7F, and 7M. The last 2 are twins and are very close, having the tendency to copy each other. I love and adore them all equally. My son is not a very masculine kid, and is less interested in some of my hobbies because of this. He has always preferred whatever his mother and older sister did, like baking or dancing. I have no problem with this, I love him as he is, but to be honest, I'm slightly disappointed that we haven't had the kind of amazing father-son bonding that I got to have with my grandpa. My dad died when I was pretty young, when I was a kid. Since I'm at home almost all the time now, I've been seeing just how feminine his interests have gotten. Asking to help cook every meal, helping his older sister alter second-hand clothes, and playing pretend. He's even asked to have his sister paint his nails. I'm not upset or bothered by it, but it isn't typical for young boys. I've been working out at home instead of at the gym because of our current circumstances, and when my son came in while I was lifting weights in the family room, he showed an interest in it. He was excited about the idea of having big muscles, and tried out some of the 5-pound ones. Even though he mentioned being like Shira, from some new Netflix reboot, I think? It was still progress in my eyes and it seemed like he was showing interest in masculine hobbies. I praised him and did the whole "wow, you're so strong" thing in kid talk to encourage him. When his sisters walked in, the twin, 7F, joined in. Like I said, they have the tendency to want to do what the other is doing, so she expected the same kind of "wow, so strong" stuff. When I wasn't as enthusiastic with her and focused on my son, my oldest got annoyed and asked why I was treating them differently. I explained to her that because he hadn't taken interest in these kinds of masculine hobbies before, I wanted to foster his own identity as a boy separate from his twin sister. She accused me of being misogynistic for this. She then said that I was TA for making his sister feel weaker and implying that I didn't approve of his feminine interests. I don't think I'm TA, because there's no reason for my daughter to be inclined towards this kind of thing, but my son should be developing a more masculine personality as he gets older. When she told my wife, 41F, she also blew up at me, saying I was acting like a cartoon misogynist. Both of them are pissed. So, Reddit, Ida? _notable comments, I'm slightly disappointed that we haven't had the kind of amazing father-son bonding that I got to have with my grandpa. That's on you, up. You meet your kids where they are. It's almost like your kids are each individual people with their own likes and dislikes. Wow, crazy. You build close relationships with love, compassion, and understanding. You are never going to get the closeness you want with your children until you accept and love them for who they are. If you keep wanting them to be different so that you can accept them, you will truly miss out. Your kids are amazing, unique, and beautiful human beings. Love them as they are. Stop with the expectations and give them unconditional love. This isn't about them. It's about you and your preconceived notions of who they should be. This will get you nowhere. I choose you, Snorlax, Uda. My initial reaction was no, you just got excited you found a common interest with your son. But then you get to the last few lines of the post. Because there's no reason for my daughter to be inclined towards this kind of thing, but my son should be developing a more masculine personality as he gets older. The fact that she has no reason for an interest in lifting and that you think your son needs to have a more masculine identity is misogynistic and a little toxic. Plenty of professional chefs and designers are men. Your overall perception is the problem. Oh, not an expert, fuck it. Nah. I completely understand you as a father wanting your son to be into stereotypically masculine hobbies. It strengthens your relationship with him, because you're into those things, and will help him have a better relationship with other boys. But there's no reason not to show your daughter the same enthusiasm, so that's my point of advice for you. Deleted user, NTA. Obviously you should support your daughters as well, but there is nothing wrong with creating some space to bond with your son man to man as well. If star are right, nta. The guy had no father and wanted a relationship with his son. Update 1. I was 100% TA. I appreciate that some people tried to empathize and say NTA or nah to be charitable, but I'm in the wrong here and I knew it deep down while I was writing the post. Rereading it, I feel ridiculous for writing that all out. I want to say thank you, because these comments were the objective kick in the ass I really needed. I realize now that I was really out of line for saying that shit and making my daughters feel that way. I set up a stupid false dichotomy, and my daughter was very right, I was being a misogynist. No excuse for that. I apologized to both of them and my wife an hour after I posted. I also shared this post with my little brother, who, as I mentioned in a comment, was teased for being effeminate as a kid/teen, especially after he came out. I think some people took me mentioning that as blaming him, which wasn't my intention at all. None of my behavior is his or anybody else's fault. We talked for a while and that, along with many of the comments you guys left, made me aware of how badly I'm treating my son. My grandpa, who raised my brother and I for most of our lives, was a manly guy who I've always idolized completely. Well, my brother made me aware that my grandpa in particular made him feel shitty about his femininity and his sexual orientation. He would regularly say degrading, terrible things. I was oblivious to just how much that hurt him, and it seems that I've picked up some of these same ideas. I've been such a dick for so long, and now that I realize how absurd some of the ideas I've held onto are, I know how much of a disservice I've done to my boy. I shouldn't try to make him change just to protect him from bullies. In this situation, I'm the bully as much as it hurts to think. I'm planning on talking with him about this issue and apologizing. If we can this week, I want to let him choose something that he likes that we can do together. I'm not going to make the same mistakes my grandpa did. At my brother's and some Redditors' suggestions, I'm considering trying out therapy or a support group. After a mistake, huge fuck up, like this, I think I ought to try to be the best dad, and big brother, I can be and work to stop thinking that way, especially when I've already done so much damage. I'm sorry about the extremely long edit, but thank you for your responses and helping me with this issue. I showed my wife some comments and she also thanks you all. _notable comment, I am impressed as hell that you are self-aware enough to know when you've fucked up and are working on self-improvement. You, my non-internet friend, have restored my faith in humanity. Deleted user, on the off chance you see this, I know you're swarmed. Lol, just know I think you have matured so well. Everyone needs a chance to grow, even in their middle ages. That's the fun of it. And for your son, who might like fixing up old clothes, maybe look into going to a sewing class at a craft store in your area. They're super fun and informative. Just make sure he's old enough for them. Congrats on having a super talented dude. Update 2. Some people asked what I'm going to do with my daughters, since it seems like I focused more on my son in the edit. My oldest wants to try Krav Maga, so in the coming weeks hoping to find a place that'll accommodate both ages. Youngest daughter has wanted to learn how to roller skate too, so my 15-year-old may have to teach us both. I was able to talk to my son for a while this morning and apologize for yesterday. Talking about gender roles and all the trauma surrounding my grandpa may be something I'll talk to him more about as he gets older, but I got the message across that I support whatever he's interested in. I asked him about She-Ra. Some commenters told me that it's fun for adults too, and we watched a few episodes together. You guys were right. My oldest and I both thought it was very cute. I asked him what he would want to do together, and he mentioned trying to alter something. I brought down a box of my old stuff from the attic and lo and behold I found one of the 80s Hawaiian shirts my grandpa bought me, probably an effort to make me look like Tom Selleck. With some guidance from my oldest, we're going to try to make it fit my son with room for him to grow into it. I think it'll turn out nicely, and because it's really vintage my 15-year-old loves it. So everything is pretty good right now. I invited my brother over, lives a few hours away, for dinner so my son and I can make him something. I can't believe that I was feeling upset about him liking baking and everything. I'm lucky that my boy wants to help everyone. So, I'm definitely TA, but I'm slowly becoming NTA. Thank you all. I showed my oldest some of my favorite comments and she thinks they're great and I should expect a Clown of the Year award for a Father's Day gift, haha. _notable comments, reading all the edits, this is the sweetest post I have ever seen on Reddit. You realized your mistake, apologized, and corrected your behavior. You're working on bettering yourself and have taken an interest in things for all of your children. You sir, may be one of the greatest fathers and have made me smile.